showcase jazz, and advance the role of Black Americans. Located at the heart of Howard University, a historically Black university, it was described as a new and different venture in radio broadcasting that combines entertainment with education. For midday hosts known as Sunny and the City, the station's history and mix of content is a big draw.
This is such a great part about being here at WHUR 96.3. We're a timeless radio station, right? So we do play a lot of current R&B, somewhat hip hop here and there, but it's just such a good listening experience for if you're at work.
How are you?
As a former refugee from Bosnia, Sunny and the City asked us to use only her show name. She moved to the United States and learned English when she was 12. She fell in love with radio after leaving high school.
It just felt so alive, and I just was so in awe of what it takes to do a radio show and to do these things. I was like, oh my God, I have to be here.
The station also serves as a learning ground. Part of its function is to offer internships to students majoring in radio broadcasting at Howard.
So they kind of rotate through semesters and they come and they learn. So yeah, I mean, there's many different departments here.
One of the few commercial radio stations owned and run by a college or university, the station broadcasts to residents in the nation's capital. Serving the community is WHUR's focus, and music is a big part of what the station offers its listeners.
Go-go music, other things. We have local DJs that are able to do their mix shows on the weekends, and so again we definitely have been very unique. We call ourselves, we sound like Washington.
News is another focus, with the station covering current events and analysis with shows like The Daily Drum and Sunny and the City segment, White House Wednesday.
Where I have a really great correspondent from the White House that she checks in, and we talk. Her name is Ebony McMorris, and she, we talk about all the political things, and there's endless things to talk about, especially now.
Since its inception, the Howard University radio station has served as a source of news, music, and through its internships opportunity, covering issues and Black history and culture for its audiences. Cristina Caicedo Smith, VOA News.
Considered one of the top music producers in East Africa, Rwandan artist Bujingo Ndanga Patrick, also known as Pastor P, has been at the helm of Rwanda's contemporary musical evolution and trends. However, in the past couple of years, he has stepped back from producing hits for the club to produce and curate an album that revives Rwanda's musical soundscape, reflecting the country's pre-colonial regions.
Ethnomusicologists worry that in an era of fast-moving musical trends and digital innovation, pre-colonial Rwandan music, once central to communal life, storytelling, and spiritual rituals, is being lost. Recognizing the urgency of preservation, Bujingo, a veteran Rwandan music producer and curator, embarked on a mission to document and revive the country's folkloric music traditions in a groundbreaking anthology album titled Ndanga. He says that it captures the sounds from the country's different pre-colonial regions.
There's two words, and there's Kuranga and Inanga. Inanga is our traditional instrument, a traditional harp. And that one inspired me to do this music of traditional music, because our music is based mostly on that instrument. And there is Kuranga, means identifying. I wanted to identify also the music, the sound that I'm doing. And luckily, I'm also called Indanga. So Indanga has like a lot of meanings. So it's a project that is tend to recover some sounds that are really getting lost. We're losing some sounds with the modernization, which is good, but I felt like there was a way to keep our sound and make it really updated without losing its value. So I went down to track and to learn a lot about our sound. And I've been finding we have different sound. I've been hearing people say we have different sounds from different places. And I didn't know how to track those places. I felt like I need to go around and first listen to how they sound. And that the project was to learn, but now it's more also to archive, to make some recordings. And because during my journey on the study, I've been recording some people, but after a few months, I could tell some people are passing, because the old people we have who still have the culture, some are passing. So my really initiative was to go look for them, find them where they are, because they never had a chance to come to studio. So I take my studio over there, try to see, to record them in their comfort zone.
In the environment, in their natural habitat.
Before, I used to bring them in studio, but they don't feel comfortable and they feel like really disconnected from themselves.
So how did you select the regions and the musical traditions to feature on the album?
My grandpa used to tell me I'm from Chinyaga. Then I was like, what is Chinyaga? Because when I was born, it was called Kiangu by then. And some people know it as Lusizi, now it's called Lusizi. But attract how pre-colonial, how did we call ourselves?
Pre-colonial boundaries.
Pre-colonial boundaries.
And regions, yeah.
And the regions. I used those regions. And I went to Kinyaga, to Gisaka, to Nduga, to, those. I really took a map and I could tell where now Gisaka was located, and now it's Kirehe,
Robots with reasoning power are becoming a reality thanks to massive amounts of training data and breakthroughs in artificial intelligence. VOA's Matt Debo visits a lab where robots are learning to solve problems themselves.
Robots excel at repetitive tasks in controlled spaces, but still struggle in unpredictable environments, like an office or home.
It has a specific skill and it has a kind of brittle skill in some sense. So if anything about the environment changes that doesn't conform with what was planned for ahead of time, then these skills tend to fail. We need like a way for the robot to adapt to the situation at hand without having a human pre-program every behavior that the robot is supposed to do.
The challenge of training robots to solve problems through reasoning has been taken up by a consortium of roboticists from the world's leading labs. This lab at the University of California, Berkeley is one of them. Think of it as preschool for robots.
I've just entered the instruction, put the mushroom on the towel.
This robot arm is following a command and at the same time generating data about its reasoning process.
So it just failed to pick up the mushroom, and it's realized that. So it's sticking to the subtask to go to the mushroom and grab it.
If successful and the reasoning is sound, this data can be used to help other robots with similar tasks. Labs in North America, Europe, and Asia are sharing their control data, which, along with data from the internet, will train an LLM, a large language model similar to ChatGPT, essentially one brain that can control a wide variety of robots.
So basically, if I teach one robot arm how to pick up a Coke can, and I have another robot arm that has never in its life seen a Coke can, it suddenly understands the concept of what a Coke can is, and it has a chance of actually picking up that object itself.
Learning how to identify a Coke can comes from vast amounts of visuals and text gathered from the internet, as does being able to pick out Taylor Swift from this lineup.
A lot of these concepts of like, oh, when the Coke can is full, you need to apply more force and you need to lift it further. Or if there is a spill on the kitchen table, what you need is a sponge or a cloth to clean it up. These are concepts that you can learn from the internet. You don't need to learn them from a robot doing stuff.
Research shows the multi-robot, internet-trained brain is outperforming robots trained independently, says Perch.
Even the best baseline, the best model that they could produce was not as good as the model that we could produce by training on all the data sets together.
Many robots have very specialized uses and designs, so a general robot brain is not intended for them. But, Perch says,
for all the robot arms, or like all the household robots, or all the humanoid robots, eventually I think you will have essentially one model that serves as the base model to control all of them.
We may not see them in homes in the near future, but robots are making great strides forward. Matt Dibble, VOA News, Berkeley, California.
Thank you for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Punganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube at VOA Africa. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye everyone.